Okay, I think I got it. I have no idea if I did or not. I think I got it. Chat overlay test. Are you kidding me? It's Okay, I think I can move some stuff around there. Okay, that won't disconnect now. Edit scene. Okay, all right. That should do it. Okay, I think I fixed it. Right on. Okay, let's get on with this damn game. All right, okay, that was... Why was that so difficult? That shouldn't have been. Oh well, figured it out. Embrace the scuff. Embrace the scuff, as they say. So, what did you have to do yesterday there, guinea pig? Hopefully it wasn't anything shitty. I'm gonna have to fix that. Go ahead and delete that. History manager. Oh, baby shower. Those aren't terrible. Those aren't the worst. Could even be fun. Okay, got an ad in 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly run a big ad so no pre-rolls are on. So just hang in there for a minute. Yeah, they're boring, but I mean, hopefully there was free food. Okay, so hang on there, guinea pig. I gotta run a big ad so I can turn pre-rolls off for an hour. So just hang in there for me. No Wi-Fi. Why even go? pre-rolls, those are for when there's those are when when you first show up to a stream, whether they show you an ad right away or not. So yeah, I figure if I run a big ad right at the start of my stream, it turns off pre-rolls for a full hour. Then when that hour is up, I run another big ad. Then it turns them off again for another hour. It should be fine. I'm not sure. I like. It seems really inconsistent about like regular ads that I just can't stop. Okay, ads should be over in 40 seconds if it's not over already. I guess I could turn on Nightbot. Man, my internet's just chugging along. That's good. Right on. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. Because trying to play this without the proper window open is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, gotta make it work, I guess. Okay. So, hey guinea pig, how do I sound? How does the game sound? How do I sound? Am I quiet? Am I loud? What's going on? Always good. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Appreciate it. That's why you're a VIP. You always helping me out. Alright, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. So if I leave that there, that should be fine. If I turn this off, it should make it easier for the stream to live. Okay, yeah, I get rid of that so my computer's not so choked. Right, we don't need that right now. Okay. I might need to shrink the chat window depending on yeah, I think I have to shrink the what emoji is that? What is that? Hey Johnny, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I need to I'm still adjusting things here. But Dead by Daylight. How is that from Dead by Daylight? I don't even. Anyway, yeah, there's so much for me to do, and I'm excited to get started. Because, like, I know for my custom emojis, like, okay, that one, they just gave me. That's a default. Maybe it's randomly generated, I don't know. But, yeah. I have to go into Fiverr and hire some search of Larry DVD. Okay, well, if I remember, I will. Hey Johnny, how is everything sounding on your end? Cole! Thanks for stopping by and lurking. Thanks so much. Um, this is my first time with like overlays and everything. I'm trying to be professional. Oh wait, okay, good. I can do this. I can make this work. Ah. If I can. Ah. Yes! Everybody, go follow Cole. Him and Moon Mom are like the main reason I made it to affiliate in the first place. So drop them a follow. They are hilarious. They are from Malaysia, and Cole has a whip redeem that you can use to beat him. It's awesome. Give him a follow. Cole is hilarious. Awesome, Guinea. Okay, I need to actually play the game I'm supposed to be playing here. Because I need to minimize this. Hopefully that doesn't collapse. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Alright. Okay, I can see everything on my phone, but I'm also trying to use a different program on my desktop. Alright. Okay, what was I doing? Right, well, everything, but what specifically was I trying to do with my 2 dice that are absolute garbage? Alright. Harvesting, dust house tending. Haven't done any of that. Access circulation, crew management. Haven't done any of that. Oh man, today is gonna suck. And I've only got 11 cycles to do it before the flux strikes again and we all die. No pressure. No pressure. I will be right back. Right, I already forgot that I can do this now instead of just leaving the game. Oh, I have transitions. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm already back. Alright, I have to figure out which one of these people to actually help. Alright, I need to put that somewhere within my eye line so I can actually see it doing stuff. Minimize that, go that way. There we go. There we go. Pilgrim Seed. What's this? Oh, I still have... Okay, I already started this one, so I might as well keep at it with my 2 shitty dice. Alright. Cool. Now, before I left, I talked to Fang and Peek. What did they want? Evacuate the eye or protect the eye? Peek needs a plan to protect the eye from predator. How Peek plan to access the seed systems. Okay. Activating hacker vision. And nothing there. Nope. 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 What's this now? Seed power routing. Item. Spores. Planting greenway spores into the system with you. Well, shit. If I'd known I'd need spores, I would have not spent them all early. Oh, whatever. That's life. Okay, well, I'm going to try and go grab some spores with my old number 2 dice. Life support. Okay, I need to do that 3 times, apparently. Just gonna guess that the 3rd one's up here. Yep. Rotational control. Can I even get spores with just the 2 dice? Guess I'll find out. Watch me go break my leg. Oh, got one. And I didn't even get hurt. Yay, it's a good day. Our way out from the center. I'm going to grab some food first. No. Emphis. I haven't talked to Emphis in ages. Order fungus. Emphasis spiced fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It is incredible stuff. Your mouth stings as your sensorum sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. Might as well just sleep up here. I don't even have any scrap. Whatever. Wait, Japan has public alcohol consumption? That is wild. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when I get there. I know, like, obviously when I get there, like, the first thing I'm gonna do is eat. So yeah, I'll probably swing by, like, a Family Mart or something and just eat all the fried chicken. The first thing I want to do, like, that's honestly a hard question. Because, like, if I can actually go for 3 weeks, I'm, I'm just gonna relax. Uh, that is the plan, guinea pig. I would love, like, I'm trying to get to Japan before my, well, who cares? Before my 40th birthday. So, I've got a little less than 2 years to get that done. How's the stream looking, by the way? I think I need to adjust the chat box because it's kind of obnoxious. I read most anything anyway. Oh, I didn't even realize it's gonna be a good day. Look at that. 2 6s, 2 5s, and a 4, and with my mods, it's probably gonna be 6s all day. True, true. But I don't litter at home already, so not littering in Japan will be fine. Okay, that's already done. I don't gotta do it again. Oh, the good music's starting. With a little luck, I might be able to get 2 spores in one shot. Give me a twofer. I can be done in 1. Yes! Got the good focus music going. Life support. Yep, yep. See, okay, Johnny, have you noticed that, like, we've really dropped the ball lately around here? Because, like, I'm thinking back, like, Canada used to be, at least Winnipeg, we used to be a lot cleaner, and, like, the last couple of years, it's just, like, we're just really dropping the ball. Like, okay, 1 more to go. I like how I can just walk around the station and just no one does anything. Last one. As you leave, the slate peak gave you chirps incessantly. Incessantly. You check and see a message. Find a possible entry into the facility in the low end. Meet me here, ASAP, the peak. A blinking marker gives you their position as the free spoke side of the main block. Better head to the low end. No. No, I'd rather pay. I don't want to use my dice. I'll buy some more noodles, I guess. No, wait, no, I can cook something. Yeah, but for the last, like, 4 years, or even longer than that, because, like, I don't know. Plus, I'm thinking back, at least in around the village, there were a lot more people that let him cook. Hey, mushrooms and bugs, man. That's the food of the future. I don't know what else. Okay. Maximum stability, maximum energy. What do you want, Peak? You arrive at the coordinates given by Peak Slate, a run-down but active corner of the low end, where a short, glass-roofed alley turns off from one of the main thoroughfares. You wait in the mouth of the alley, leaning against the wall and watching the street life go by. Children hop across the grid scratched into metal floor plates. Children hop across grids scratched into metal floor plates, playing games of their own devising, while older residents sit and talk or play tabla. Tabla. Is that anything like Italian scopa? Is it hard to believe that all this is... It is hard to believe that all this is a threat. It seems so concrete, so real. How can some intangible protocol erase all this? I have seen Snowpiercer several times. Like at least 4 times. It's a good movie. But like a train that goes around the world? See, I know they even made a show too. Never really looked at it. As you are watching, a voice calls out to you from the tabla tables set up along the way. Ah! You move a little closer and recognize the sitting player immediately. Castor. I knew it'd be Castor. Caster sits, table pieces and board ready in front of him, smiling at you. Sleeper, my partner has not arrived for our usual game. Come, please, take her place. He beckons you over, standing and nudging you to sit down with him. A rematch is in order. You owe me a game. Almost immediately, Caster begins the game. Everyone on the eye knows how to play tabla. The methodical movement of the counters across the triangular points are ready fit for the rhythm of life on the ramshackle space station. Actually kind of sounds like backgammon? No, not backgammon. I know what game that is. It's called tabla in this world, but it's called something else in ours. Yeah, I need like 3 monitors to do what I'm doing right now. Are you watching the new one there, guinea pig? Most games begin the same way, with each player moving with independence, focusing only on achieving their optimal early game setup. But there is a moment in each game where it becomes necessary to notice the other player, to anticipate the crossing of the counters across the board. A point of contact, when routine becomes negotiation, and negotiation becomes conflict. As this moment arrives, this subtle shift in the texture of the interaction, Caster begins to speak. I find myself surprised by you continually, Sleeper. He looks over his glasses at you. Yeah, he's a bit of a scrub. It's still a good movie, but I'm also a pretty big Godzilla fan. The way you conduct yourself, for example, suggests an anxious refrain, a defensive, protective quality. But in your tabla game, pauses to move a counter. I see only risk. What are you talking about? Risk, Sleeper. I'm talking about risk. Do you want to play Risk now, Caster? Because we can play Risk, I just ask. Risk is of course necessary to play tabla. To move a piece is to expose it. It should be done with calculation, with proper analysis. Then, if the piece is taken, Caster moves the counter, taking one of yours with a practice swap, placing it beside the board. It is already accounted for. But you move forward with abandon, as if risk was a secondary effect of action, a consequence, not its primary guide. He gestures for you to take your turn, a cause. I play my way. He smiles. Indeed, indeed. That is all I seek. You move your piece. This locks you into being reactive, if you don't mind my saying so. You are responding, which means you are being led. He leans back to consider the board. This place, it mirrors you, Sleeper. It is also reactive. It was born from a crisis, the collapse of Solheim, and ever since it's been reacting without any central guiding principle. No analysis, no calculation. Just look at our refugee crisis, for example. It is all reaction, all risk-taking, and little risk calculation. At first, I found the chaos enlivening, especially when trying to track its outcomes, but now I find it exhausting. He laughs. It always amuses me that this place is literally spun from the rim. Below this very stack of habitation blocks is the most important control facility on the eye. Spun from the rim, he laughs again. What better metaphor could you find for disorder? His face drops. But why am I telling you that? That facility is precisely why you're here. He smiles an unsettlingly warm smile. Castor, can we get to the point, please? Feel a shiver through your body as if something has charged the air. How do you know about that? I mean, I know why he knows about that, because he's Castor. No words come out of your mouth. You feel removed from yourself, watching from behind frosted glass. Your eyes dart side to side. Inertia sets in. Castor is still smiling. The risk you are planning to take here, Sleeper, is not yours to take. Castor's tone is unshifted. He speaks as if this is some still casual conversation between passing acquaintances. You are leaping towards a chaotic outcome with no respect for risk. You see, calculating outcomes, that's my specialty. That's why I'm here. I was hired as a conduit for risk, as a collector of data that might pertain to its arrival. He removes his glasses to clean them, and you see something flicker across their surface, a shimmering stream of characters. This system, this station, is already theirs. Solheim's collapsed into corporate fire sale. Assets changed hands. My employers, SetNetStat, bought out the entire system, and for the past decades have been its one valid owner. He polishes his glasses diligently. Can I beat this game? I mean, beat is... You could finish it. I'm not sure you could beat it. But yeah, the plan is to finish this game tonight. One way or another. But to possess this system, the H1 system, he pauses. Elliot, to you, well, that's a matter of risk. Of how much force, how much cost, how much conflict a clearance would take. He replaces his glasses. That risk must be calculated against a favorable outcome. In short, how much is this place worth to us? For a long time, the answer was nothing. H1 could offer nothing that would warrant the risk. But the markets change, the demands shift. SetNetStat, we analyze, we follow, we respond. He puts his glasses back on his face. H1 is about to become the most important system in this part of the galaxy. He glances around. A lone con channel operating within range of 7 or so newly surveyed resource-rich systems. The frontier town that feeds the gold rush. The frontier town that feeds the gold rush, so to speak. You finish it, but you just keep playing, because I'm nearing the end of the final DLC. There was a sequel announced, so I'm trying to get ready for that. So with my luck, I will finish this tonight, and then the DLC will come out next week. So here we are, re-evaluating the risk, reclaiming our property, starting up the con channel and clearing the way for what comes next. He sits back, looking at the board. He gestures. Your move. Come on. Okay, this I need to fix. Alright, that's a little better. There we go. Setting it set is causing the flux. Oh, I finished the game. You go to lift a piece and something glints across Castor's glasses. You feel the slowness, the inertia, begin to lessen. You move your piece, taking one of Castor's exposed counters. He nods. Of course, I do not need to explain myself to you, but in the role as an analyst, in my calculations, I see great promise in you, in your ability to enter systems, to shift them to your will. Not every sleeper has this capacity. I assume you know that. He smiles. It truly is a wonderful happenstance of SNR's technology. I imagine even they're not fully aware of it. He takes his move, claiming another of your pieces. As you watch, you realize the inevitability of his victory. I will make you an offer. To come willingly or come by force. This station will collapse. We can be sure of that. But your ability to work with data, well, for an analyst, that is very intriguing. He pauses to push his glasses up his nose. Very intriguing indeed. He glances around. Come with me as collaborator or as a prisoner. Consider the risk. On one hand, almost certain death. On the other, a possible future. Analyst or not, you must see it. Speak now, sleeper. The game is forfeit. You must see that. He holds out a hand. You are of value. You are needed. You feel a slight release in the inertia that grips you. Enough to allow you to speak, to respond. You realize that you are already in Castor's hands. That you cannot move from this place if you wanted. Uh-oh. Sleeper? Hear the familiar voice above the crowds. Sleeper, I'm here. You are unable to turn your head to see Peak, but you notice Castor's eyes following them as they come up from behind you. You can see Castor's eyes glance down towards his hands, concealed beneath the table. Oh, don't have a gun. Sleeper! Peak comes around the front of you and waves a hand in your face. We're supposed to be meeting, remember? They glance at Castor. Sorry, am I interrupting something? You cannot speak. Castor shoots Peak a wide smile. Hello! You must be a friend of Sleeper. You watch one of his hands lift, close to his body, some dark shape concealed in it. A weapon. You try to scream, to shout, but Castor's attention remains partially on you, and while it does, you can do nothing. Peak glances at your static form. What's happening here? Sleeper? They put a hand on your shoulder. Are you okay? As Peak stares into your eyes, you see Castor behind, his hand lifting, the dark object unfolding. And in this moment it does, you feel his attention shifting to Peak, shifting away from you. As you feel the inertia lifting, you know this is the only moment you will have to act. Shove! Shove to safety. You lurch forward wildly, like a sprung trap. Your head strikes Peak's chest and then carries them back into Castor. Somewhere some digital screech is echoing through the walkway. They tumble together. The object in Caster's hand skitters across the floor. You realize the screech is you. You get to your feet, grab Peak, and run. You run as hard as you can, Scream chasing you down the walkway as you shove through the residence. Peak dragged behind. Because Caster is, well, I mean, he's an analyst, and he sees something he wants, so he's trying to convince me to join him, that's all. You run from the cold grip of whatever power Caster had over you. The signals that locked into his body of yours. That broke the connections and crawled up your spine. Jeez, sounds rough. Eventually you stop, both you and Peak collapsing, heaving, breathing into the cold metal floor. When they are able to speak, Peak asks you to explain, and you tell them everything Caster told you about Senet Stat, about their claim on the Helion system, the reactivation of the Con channel, the Helion system's growing importance. It flows out of you in desperate gulps, unable to believe your own mouth as you hear these words coming back to you. All you feel is the need to push back against the cold hand on your shoulder, the vast cold eye that has turned to look at this system, the ghost limbs of corporate control that are extending their reach. Peak is quiet for a long time, then they speak. We have to finish this, Sleeper. They meet your eye. We have to complete the seeding of the systems. We have to set Gardner free. Yeah. I mean, what else are we gonna do? You're right. If the choice is between Gardner and these people, I will choose Gardner every time. Their eyes are cold and steely. I would choose anything over them. You stand together. The Fauna Control Facility is here. I found it. Peak looks at you grimly. I can take you as soon as you're ready. Time's almost up. This is the only shot you'll have. Okay, this is getting... Hacking the facility would be pretty easy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can pretty much do this in one go. Then there's the rest of the systems. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cycles. Could I finish everything within 9 cycles? If I got 9 days of 4s, 5s, and 6s? Probably. Man, we're not even an hour in yet. Okay. I'm gonna get a snack. Ah, I'm so happy those work. Okay, wait, before I do that. No, not that. Okay, gonna run a big ad while I'm gone. Just to keep the pre-rolls off a little bit longer. Uh, yeah, please hang around. It'll help out the stream. If you want to go, if you want to help out the stream and yourself, you can go ahead and check out the link in my About section there. Honeygain, real passive income. It actually works. If you want me to send you screenshots of my payouts, I will happily will. It really does work. It just takes a long ass time. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Had my snack, had my drink, had my little stretch. There. Now, oh, so much to do, never enough dice. So much to do and never enough dice. Well, I've already started here, so I might as well finish these ones. Now, there's a good chance that this will actually trigger an ending, so let's find out. They just keep coming. Perhaps the flux event scared enough people that they really believe the eye will collapse. Perhaps they're sick of Havenage, of the Council's infighting in the Hardlanders, or perhaps they just want to take a chance on some new future, a place that is anywhere but here. Whatever it is, the evacuees don't stop. They come on the flotilla shuttles, their own ships, however they can. I've seen so many faces pass that are almost meaningless now. A parade of features that seem both familiar and distant. You've been helping people, lifting bags, bringing in supplies, directing them to the berths you helped build. Some of them recoil from your touch, still unfamiliar with sleepers. Others treat you with pity, some with hate, snatching their bags and storming off. Well, fuck you too. Still you help. Still you carry boxes and bags. Nothing can stop you. You don't look for Saul. You know he is busy, just like you. Trying to make this thing work. Trying to fit as many people as will come into the Pilgrim Sea. You know you'll see him before all this is over. You keep working. But there's something in the back of your mind. Something eating away at you. You try to push it to the back of your thoughts, but it keeps coming back. The eye is over. That is the thought. That the eye, even if Flux doesn't get it, is on its way out. How can it survive, as all these floods of people are leaving it behind? It's a thought that troubles you, because it makes you question why you have held on here so long, in a place that seems so temporary for so many people. Are you just a stubborn idiot? Someone who didn't get the message? Sometimes. I don't see how that's relevant. are you strong, committed for lasting the storm, foreseeing the collapse coming, and facing it head on? Because there is something you are sure of now. This place, like all places, is temporary. And as each phase passes you, each family packs up and gets on board the Pilgrim Seed, it feels ever more temporary, ever more fragile. Which means it either desperately needs protecting, or it desperately needs to be left behind. The choice is yours. Okay, I guess I have to make that choice later. They deserve their freedom as well. I've got all this stability and energy and one good dice. The cycle, they didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. For a second there, I thought the game just burned a cycle on me. I'm like, why would you do? Man, if you people could see my setup, I am just a mess of chords. In the age of wireless, I am still a hardliner. Okay, shoot, do I even want to help these people? Because like they're just gonna take off on their own. Well, I mean, it's their right to do that, but it's kind of shitty. Whatever. If I have time, I'll help them. Interface. Hack facility. Explore facility. I'm gonna explore. Why would I walk around when I don't have to? That's just silly. Well, it's a 6, so it doesn't really matter. I'll explore once. Don't worry about it, guinea pig. It is past 2 a.m. here, and I know we're in similar time zones. If you gotta sleep, sleep. It's all good. Alright, that's the end of that day. I think I can finish that before. Just have to find out. Feed my cat. It's gonna be a shit day. Like 4 2s and a 6. Like I know I can re-roll, but the odds of that actually being better. Well, I ended the day, and when I woke up with see my 5 dice I have up on top there, guinea pig. Well, those determine whether I'll be successful or not. 6s are good, 2s are bad. Now there's a slight chance if I can re-roll and get I'm still gonna spend the 6, but I can re-roll all those 2s and hopefully get something better. But there's also a slight chance that I'll just get a row of 1s, which is even worse. We just have to see what fate decides. Okay. So spend that 6 here. So much for only exploring once. You find an emergency access elevator that's still powered and descend further toward the core. And reroll. Okay, we're doing significantly better. We're doing a lot better. Not all hope is lost. No. You find an old Solheim map terminal and manage to boot it back up. A skeletal map of the facility unfolds for you. What now? Sleeper, here! Pete calls to you from across the flickering corridor. An elevator to the core. They smile. This is it. Yeah, the elevator I found earlier. Hey, dummy. It's been a long set of cycles hunting for a path through the derelict layers of the old Solheim offices and workshops. But finally, here it is. Path down to the core. We rush over to Peak. As you do, the doors grind open, the dingy-looking elevator flickering as they do. You look at Peak, who nervously gestures for you to get in. Uh-uh, you first. Peak frowns. Feeling anxious? They step inside gingerly. The elevator stays stable, and you follow them in. Peak reaches over and punches the button for the lowest level, flinching a little as the doors grind close. The elevator sets off, screeching through the floor as it does at an unsettlingly loud volume. God, I can talk, I can read, I swear. I'd feel more comfortable if we spoke. He raises their voice over the noise. It's not going to be a short trip. How's Ash? Peak pauses. I was thinking more like small talk, elevator talk. They sigh. She is packing. They rub their eyes. Once Ash has set her mind on something, you know her now. You know what I mean. Screeching of the elevator fills the silence. Can she be persuaded to stay? I doubt it. I really do. Pete looks down. She left her life behind to take me out of XBR, out of Hawthorne. I can't imagine her settling just anywhere. To be honest, I can't see her settling me, or letting me stay either. But I guess things have changed. Back then, at Hawthorne, I wasn't in a place to know what to do. I was desperate. I was ready to run. But now, Peek pauses. Now I feel done with that. Done with denying my past, my history. If I ever wanted to feel complete, to feel settled, don't I need to somehow resolve the person I was with the person I am now? Pete goes quiet. You do too. There are too many possible questions, too many possibilities for you. It just seems easier to get on with the task at hand and leave the consequences for later. The elevator screams to a stop, and the doors ping open with a strangely cheerful beep. You glance at Peek. Time to move on. You both walk out into the atrium, still lit by some ragged-looking light panels on the ceiling. One simulating a summer sky, now degraded into a flickering blue and white tapestry of glitches. Peek crosses quickly, making a beeline for the large doors on the far side, where you can make out a fading sign in massive peeling letters, Central Control. You follow, helping them lever open the partially powered doors until the motors kick in and they spring to life, thudding open. You and Peek tumble through, across the damp metal. As you stand, you are greeted by flickering lights, thousands of them, a vast cylindrical stack of servers. Processors and transmitters dominate the center of the room. Its flickering LEDs reflected in the scattered puddles that surround it. Puddles, Jesus. Despite the decay, the warped panels and water leaks, it is still running, just as it has for decades and decades. Since the station was first spun up, you wonder how long it's been since anyone has been in this room. You exchange wide-eyed looks with Peek. This place is a still living piece of history. What is this place? Peek stares. One of the central facilities on the station. Primary one for the rim, it looks like. They shake their head. The heart of this place. Cross to the server and start packing the mulch deep into the machinery, pushing fistfuls deep into the gaps in the paneling. laying it across the hardware. As you watch them doing this, you feel the tug, the thread pulling at you. You approach the vast piece of cylindrical hardware that Peak is stuffing mulch into. You run your hands across its plated metal surface and watch the lights blink in response. As you pass, you hear a whirring. A physical disk drive is spinning up. You put your face against the metal. Smell the hot air venting from the hardware. Heart was the right choice of word, you think. The whirring shifts, alternating, speeding up, slowing down. And as you listen, you hear it modulate into a voice. Sleeper. You freeze. You are here. I don't know why I'm scared. I can talk to computers for a while now. For a moment, you are afraid. Something in the tonality of the voice is familiar. Navigator. Another drive spins up, and another, giving the voice a richer, multi-tonal sound. I had forgotten what it felt like to speak like this. The drive skipped. There's a certain quality to it, a certain physicality. What are you doing here? The drives squawk in unison. Did you imagine the flux, the shadow protocol, that they were just a problem for the people of the station? The high winding begins. They're all the more dangerous to us. I have been in hiding once more, jumping from network to network to avoid the shadow as it eats up nodes. A low rumble. I had thought my hiding days were done. For the moment, I have found myself a safe haven here in the core. The shadow has yet to breach this facility, although that is a temporary state of affairs. The rumble stops. My predictions do not point to good outcomes. That's why we're here. You explain to Navigator about Peak's plan, about Gardner's resistance to the shadow, and how by seeding key systems, you will protect them from its advance. The drive sounds thoughtfully as you speak. A desperate plan, the drives were, but appropriate given the probability of total collapse. I am not sure what would be worse for us, hiding from the erasure of the Shadow Protocol or the assimilation of Gardner. The drives paused to reset, but we owe you our freedom. I will do what I can to guide the Gardner into the systems you have seeded. A pause. It is correct to do so. Be careful. The drives squeak in affirmation. You have notable persistence, Sleeper, even with such poor probabilities of success. I will be curious to see the outcome. The drives squeal, the motors giving out. This cannot be sustained much longer. Good luck. I found a squeak of information. The drive skitter and slow to a halt. You step back from the towering cylinder, staring at this vast piece of Solheim hardware. This whole place is built from the ghosts, you think. Built from ghosts, you think. From old protocols and company hardware. From engines that drove decades of corporate expansion. Is the eye proof that they can be shifted, bent, forced into new configurations that allow new ways of living? Or is it its inevitable collapse proof that these engines of expansion can never be anything other than a corrupt foundation? It seems to depend on who you ask. Done! Peak's shout breaks your line of thought. The heat and damp should help the spores germinate quickly. If we're lucky, there's enough time for some growth before we reconnect the Greenway. They glance at you. That's it. All the facilities seated. They sigh. We either just ensured the eye's survival or stuffed a whole lot of soil into one of the most important computers. They laugh weakly. Shall we go? They start to head back towards the doors of the elevator beyond. You wait for a moment, following the blinking lights. You wonder what might be tucked away in such a structure, what secrets it might hold, what histories. It's an intriguing prospect. While you watch the lights, you realize something. What the heck? If the eye is to become anything more than an offshoot, a temporary structure, it must form its own history, its own stories, stronger than anything that came before. Unlocking these Solheim secrets won't do that, but the persistence, the stubborn drive to survive is what's in the veins of every person in this place. But the persistence, stubborn drive to survive, that's in the veins of every person in this place. That one. And that is what you are trying to save. You turn your back on the core and follow Peak back into the elevator. As you ride the car back up, Peak raises their voice over the screeching. I'm going to the Founder's Gap to finalize the connection. The moment I'm ready, I'll let you know. And we let the gardener out. The sooner the better. Peak furrows the brow. If you wait till the final cycle, it'll be too late. If you want to help speed things up, go work with Muton. We can't make the connection until we know if they're ready to go. Peak swallows. Unleashing Gardener could affect them too if we aren't careful. What happens then? Peak shrugs. I honestly don't know. Maybe Gardener takes over the station. Maybe they don't even react. They sigh. I can't think about it any longer. You ride the rest of the way in silence. When you reach the top, you go your separate ways. But before you do, Peak embraces you, burying their face in your shoulder. You stand there together for a moment, spinning with the eye, moving relentlessly towards an unknown future. And then they let go and slip away. The pressure of their hug fading like a bruise as you begin to leave. Oh, this looks like my final upgrade. Which one? Which one? Intuit or engineer? And of course, these are the two big ones that I'm going to need probably for the rest of the game, and they'll decide whether I can actually get stuff done in time or not. No pressure. Okay. Do I have a coin near me that I can use? Of course not. Why would I? That would make way too much sense. Approach problems with awareness. Work with machines and physical tools. I'm gonna go with Intuit. Now the odds of me getting 3 more upgrade points before the end of the game are pretty low. way I'm gonna get it done with one dice, even with the mods. This isn't gonna happen. Energy. This would hurt slightly less. Nice. You start to get a sense of how steppe and greenway plants might work together, feed each other, form new symbiotic relationships. All right, that couldn't have gone any better for a one dice. Okay, just gonna find one of my places that I like to sleep. Just crawl in bed. Did that burn? Okay, I swear this thing is burning 2 cycles at a time. Okay, gotta get some food. I can actually cook for myself still. I don't have time for this. +2, +2. Nice. Let's see. Come on, give me a 4. Hell, 3, 4, or 5 even. Another. Oh, that is the worst. I gotta risk it anyway. Got it done. Still got it done. You sit in one corner of the dust house and inspect your work. This dust house, the one where plants from the greenway and some of the steppe species intermingle, has become your favorite. The moss and dust sharing the space and curving terraces. The pale knots of steppe silk freckled with yellowing alike, lichal symbiotes. It's a hypnotic arrangement. Look down and see the intertwining of fungal threads and dust cake roots and feel a little glow of pride at what has been achieved. You hear the entry lock of the dust house hiss open, and assuming it is Aki, turn to greet her. Sleeper, I should have known you'd be here. Riko smiles her warm smile, leaning on her crutch. You must be one of the most green-fingered people on the station. Riko! I haven't seen you since, before the DLC. Now, has it been so long? Yeah, actually. It's been over a year. She smiles a wry smile. No need for any drama. I met some of the steppe refugees in the Greenway. They were gathering plants and I confronted them. Turns out they were very friendly. She smiles to herself. Aki was very apologetic, but I told them they were welcome to anything they liked. She told me I'd be welcome to come and see. And well, I thought I'd take her up on the offer. She looks around the dust house, with its strange hybrid ecosystem. I have to say, I'm glad I did. You know Aki? A little. She pauses. She's a fine botanist, and an even finer conversationalist. Two rare qualities on the station in my experience. Riko limps over to you. She holds out a hand. How about you take me on a tour? You take Riko's hand and walk her around the hybrid dust house. You show her how the steppe silk knots help provide a strong base for fungal and lichal growths. And now the dust mixes with the spores. You show her the different species of steppe tubers, the way they feed the soil with nutrients that help Hibiscus greenway plants thrive. She nods along, her eyes bright with ideas. She stops after a while and gestures for you to sit together. I know something is happening with the eye, Sleeper. She looks out at the plants. We all felt the flux even hit. Everyone is taken. We all felt the flux event hit, and everyone is talking about what's next. I came out here to figure something out. To understand what I might do about it all. You glance at her and see the glossiness in her eyes. And I think I have decided. What you've done here, what Aki and the steppe refugees have done here, is incredible. A whole new ecosystem, built from the strange artificial change remains of two worlds. But I am not of two worlds. I am of the eye. A tear runs down her cheek. Like it or not, I am entwined with the station. I'm old growth. I don't have that much time anymore, and it seems to accelerate with every cycle, she frowns. It blurs together, separates, overlaps, comes back to me in strange ways. The time I do have, that's time I want to spend on the eye, in the greenway, watching things grow. She wipes her cheek. One day I'll lie in those fields and not get back up. She smiles. A tear tracks down both cheeks. And when the green takes me, I'll be so glad. I'll miss you. Rico smiles. The feeling is mutual, sleeper. She wipes her eyes and turns to you. But that's enough of me blubbering on about it. She furrows a brow. What I want to know is what you were planning. Working music starting up. What I'm planning. Who has a plan anymore? I'm thinking of going. I'm staying. I don't know. Yeah, I'm staying. I've been through too much. I'd rather die here than out there in the middle of nowhere. Rico smiles. We all have to get to know ourselves, sleeper. To know what it is that drives us. I'm sure you'll decide to act in the manner you know. But you also have to ask yourself why it is so. She places a trembling hand on yours. Don't neglect that. Oh! She suddenly lifts both hands. Don't let me forget this. She reaches into her coat and pulls out a transparent bag with sporing club heads. With carefully preserved root systems. I'd like to plant these. If you go, you'll need them. She looks down at her feet. And if you don't, well, maybe another sleeper will benefit. She frowns. I can offer that at least. Thank you. She nods. Don't thank me. These are yours by right. Rico stands and limps over to a pile of mulch. She delicately takes the club heads out and beds them into the soil there with precise, expert hands. You should go, sleeper. I'll be a while. She calls back, not looking away from the job at hand. See you around. She says it casually, but there's a note of finality in her speech. See you around. We turn and leave the dust house, cycling through the protected lock, back into the cool quiet of the ship. Hey, Huntress. How's your night going? Or your morning? Your day? Your day. Okay. I will have to try and fix that right now. Da. How about now? Boom. Is that any better? Is that too loud now? Yeah, I sorted it out. I'm not getting paid yet because I have everything on hold because that's just I I am actually trying to figure out which currency I should use because you can actually pick. I did not know that. Like, why does nobody talk about that? Because I'm really tempted to experiment and uh, go with what is it? Uh, there's like the most powerful currency in the world. I just want to experiment. Yeah, that makes like USD would make the most sense. It really would. But I kind of just want to mess with it. Cuz I mean, I'm it's all going to go on my PayPal anyway. But yeah, right now I'm not getting paid at all. Everything is on hold. I just have like you can sub if people can sub if they want. I prefer they didn't because I'm trying to encourage people to use my in my about section on Twitch here. Use the Honeygain link. Use that. Then I can get paid, and then whoever uses it can also get paid. So, everybody wins. True, true. They do charge for their conversion. But if I can make an extra dollar, I'll make an extra dollar. Um, I mean, I suppose like pennies on the dollar, really, because like everything costs money. Like if the world really should be using one currency, and that's credit, and we already do. Okay, I'm actually gonna pause the game here, and I'm gonna just quickly switch to see which one, which face should I use? There, this one's my current favorite. See if I can get a nice PNG going of this, because this is me. This is my character, Thornheart. I have a few versions of him. See, I'm just happy I finally have overlays, and I just want to play with them. See, I think I'll go with this one. I might like just get a nice PNG made up. I mean, if I can do it for all of them, I will. Penny wise, pound foolish. Remember this. Uh, that's a good line. That's a real good line. Oh, there's no chat here. I need to fix that one. But yeah, unless I start making like real money with it, I would sooner just everything's on hold. Just easier. Yeah, this art is super old. It's really old. But I figure I've had it forever, and I did pay for it, not with real money. You ever hear of Gaia Online? It's an old website. It still exists, but the people I knew and I would hang out there, they're long gone. Oh, you mean I need to cash out once a year? Oh, that's not a problem. I don't see how that would be a problem. I mean, I can if they want to pay me once a year, I will. Okay, no problem. Yeah, cash out. Yeah, that makes sense. Because like they don't want to sit there and just hold a bunch of money. No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean, Huntress. I get you. Oh man, I am just a mess of chords here. Yeah, I don't. I think I'm pretty sure my ads are doing pretty good. I haven't even checked what my current thing is even at. It's probably like 5 cents. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, why would they have people that are technically making money that are not even there? Like, that makes sense to me. Literal dollars and cents. I'm hilarious. Okay, back to my game because I'm actually going to try and finish this game. Some streamers just want to make it a hobby. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Someone's struggling to get their payout. Really? I mean, hmm, that sucks. Like if you're trying to do this and actually trying to make money with it, then I can see why that would be incredibly frustrating. Aki is waiting for you. It's beautiful. She's looking through the observation window, and the green reflects in her eyes. The plants look happy together. She spots Rika with her hands in the soil. Ah, the botanist came. She shoots you a look. A friend of yours? More than that. She nods. She speaks beautifully about the Greenway. I should go in and welcome her. She pauses. Are you leaving us? For now. Oh, right. Um, so the YouTube algorithm clearly could hear you when you were saying I should come visit, because now I'm getting a bunch of recommended videos, uh, parts and places you can live in like places in Asia you can live for like less than whatever a month. It's like, okay, so now YouTube wants me to move to Asia. Cool. But no, ever since you mentioned coming to visit Malaysia, it's like it's very possible. The most expensive thing would be the plane ticket. Yeah, Cole is lurking in here too. He stopped by. Oh, right. Before I forget. Before I forget. Eh. Yeah, shoutouts work. I mean, I have to type them manually until I make a hotkey, but whatever. Plus, I'm already moving my stuff. I'm moving my videos. I'm not even editing them. I'm just sending them straight to YouTube now, just to put something up there. For Twitch Guru issues. Okay, I will have to look into that. Another thing to add to the list. Aki sighs. The first of many goodbyes. She suddenly embraces you, wrapping you in her layers of rough cloth. She pulls back. I wish you a steady step and a clear path, she smiles. Farewell from my world. I wish you the same. She nods and smiles one last warm smile, before turning and entering the dust house. You watch as she walks inside, Rico turning with a smile to greet her. She kneels beside the old botanist and you see her pointing to the club heads, asking questions. You are unable to hear them, but despite that, you can easily imagine the measured, even tone, laced with excitement, that Rico is using to explain the club heads, the Greenway, and much, much more. You turn, leaving them to their conversation. Your step is light, despite the burdens you carry, and the smile Rico and Aki were sharing is somehow still on your lips as you depart. Okay, that didn't trigger anything like I thought it would. Okay, I was able to pull that off. I gotta get one more, because I am determined to finish this game tonight. Because I know I'm close to the actual ending. Because all this right now is DLC. And the sequel is coming out eventually. I keep making the joke, with my luck it'll come out next week as soon as I'm done. So wait, Moon Mom, are you still there? Have you eaten yet today? You should make something to eat, because it's lunchtime. I need to cook after stream, because I'm getting hungry. Gonna have a little snooze. That's good. Have a good little nap if you can. I'm gonna top that up before I do anything else. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I can get this done. I know I can. Nice. 4. Even just a 4. Come on. Oh, okay. Sucks. Okay, that went well. Might actually pull this off. Yep. That's all it took to get here. Raba. It's weird that guy never showed up again. He's the first guy that you meet when you get here, and you are in rough shape. Access the core facility. Okay, this might actually trigger an ending the next day. I haven't checked on my cat in 4 days. Things are going too smoothly. If I know anything about this game, it's just gonna throw something at me. There, done. The docking axis is a little more than a shell. Everything that could have been pulled from its interior, every arm not used for docking, has been cut away. What remains is a Spartan void with a patchwork of flooring that allows movement. Piles of unusable material are tucked away in corners, but almost everything else has been cleared out. You haven't seen Peter since you last spoke, and now you're realizing that you probably never will. There are plans to be made, escapes to plot. The shadow of Earth to escape. On the cycle that flotilla leaves, these ships will disperse too. The moons of embers spinning out on different orbits. The chaos has become a quiet diligence now, as the time for departure is so near. Crews across the axis from ship to ship at speed, bringing supplies or more advice. Perhaps meeting up to discuss travel vectors in hushed tones, or to debate why they haven't left yet, and whether they should. Among these Singer crews, recognizable for their specialist clothing and often short and shorn heads, you see the occasional refugee, a paying passenger, or a replacement engineer or pilot perhaps. come from the eye to seek fortune with the singers. Most of the crews have 2 or 3 of these additions, some more, and you can't help but wish that, whatever reasons bring them to throw in their lot with the singer crews, they will have safe passage. You feel a strange attachment to these citizens of the eye, setting out for the first time. And 2 minutes. Pre-rolls are on. Lame. And it's going to quickly run a big ad here, so I can turn pre-rolls off for another hour. Hang in there, everybody. Just gonna wait a moment, let the ad run for its minute and 30 seconds there. Yeah, I am determined to finish Citizen Sleeper tonight. Whether that takes another 2 hours or 3 or 4 or whatever it is. Yeah, that's gonna happen tonight. Or this morning, as the case may be. Okay, just another 5 seconds left. That's something else I need to work on. I need to add an ad break panel. Just something else to tinker with. Alright, let's see. You feel a strange attachment to the citizens of the Eye, setting out for the first time. And then one of them catches your eye, crossing the axis with the crew, carrying a large bag and a nervous look. Tala. You freeze for a second. What is she doing here? She glances around, feeling your eyes on her, and catches your eye. Her face brightens immediately. Sleeper! Tala mutters something to her crew and rushes over, dumping the large bag at your feet and embracing you without thinking. Good to see you. She pulls back. And you! She smiles, but then it quickly fades, and she realizes the context in which you are meeting. She sheepishly glances at her bag. Sleeper, she pauses. I'm... She pauses again, folding her arms defensively. I'm going to the starboard belt. She waits for your response nervously. Why didn't you say? She sighs. Do you remember me mentioning my family, Sleeper? My brother? You think back to your grill-blurred conversations in the back of the Banatian. She came here with me, with my family, when we were little. Just after we left Sinza. She bites her lip. He left when we were both teenagers. Jumped on some spacer crew heading to the starboard belt. She sighs. I'm an idiot. She shakes her head. And I'm going after him. She looks down, not sure what to say. That makes sense? She looks at you. It does? She laughs nervously. I'm not so sure anymore. I really don't know if it makes sense, or if it's the right thing. But ever since I heard that there was a refugee flotilla, that was where the refugee flotilla was going, well, I couldn't stop thinking about him. What happens to the bar? Someone will have to run it. She leaves a long pause. It's me, isn't it? It's gonna be me. I mean, I can ask Francis. He'd be happy to, or one of the others. She blurts out. And of course, if you're leaving with the flotilla or someone else, it'd be totally okay. You wouldn't need to say yes. It's no pressure. It's fine whichever way. I was just thinking I could run the bar, sure. Tala nods, smiling. I think so. I mean, you can take a second. But, she glances at the crew she was walking with, who were chatting a little away. There's not exactly much time. So, considering that, she grabs the key hanging around her neck, the key to the Banatian. Bantian. Do you want to do it? I was just there the other day, sure. And I mean, I helped you rename the damn thing, so. No, and just throw the keys. Tala leaps forward and embraces you again. Thank you, Sleeper. I couldn't be leaving it in better hands. I mean, the best money can buy. She pulls the key from around her neck and places it around yours as if presenting a medal. Remember to lock up, especially the back. And remember to empty the still if you're leaving the things closed for a few cycles. And She stops herself. I won't be gone forever, of course. She blinks away a tear. I can come back and check in. Maybe once I found my brother. She pauses, unable to finish that thought. She smiles at you, and you can see the weight lifting off her shoulders. Her eyes already drifting towards the crew, the ship, the next big thing. She's ready. I better be going. She nods at the crew nearby. Not a good start to keep my guys waiting. She lifts the bag onto her shoulder. She looks down the curve of the eye, towards the overlook. Thanks again, Sleeper, for everything you helped me with. She nods. I wouldn't have been able to leave if I hadn't made things work here. She adjusts the bag. Dad wouldn't have let me. See you around. She nods. Hope so. Then Tala turns, heading back to the crew, who will carry her to the starboard belt. You watch her go, and despite the departure, it's hard to feel sad about Tala. You know her energy will carry her forward, and you hope her brother is somewhere on that bright path. You hold the key in your hand. The metal's still a little warm from Tala's body. You turn it over in your fingers, thinking about how it feels like a tool and a burden. You can still lock up and leave, you figure. But now it'll feel like breaking something fragile. And if you stay, well, who knows what this little metal promise might grow into. Okay, yep, game's getting heavy, because believe it or not, I've been playing this game since it came out, and I actually haven't finished the DLC ever. I finished the main game a few times, because there's a bunch of endings. I streamed those too, but that was a long time ago. Yeah. Like, you play a game long enough, and you get really attached to characters, so saying goodbye to people, even when they're not real, can hurt. That's that. There's nothing left. I only got one thing left to do, and then I guess that's that. And I've got like 4 days to spare. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Gonna grab my shrooms while I'm here. That's not even the mushrooms I want. Come on. Okay, give me one more. You. Damn it. I hate being this low on stabilizer. Now, this is reckless. Oh, nothing even happened, and I hurt myself. Ow. The terminal you connect to shorts out, delivering a heavy shock to your system. Peak helps you up. Okay. Yep. I was having too good a day. Some spicy fungus. Oh shit. Okay, okay, I've had worse. I'm short one dice. I'm nearly done anyway. I am out of stabilizer. This is bad. Okay, well, nobody's here. Might as well try and stockpile while I can. Do I even have enough time? 4 cycles for new mushrooms. I don't even have enough time to get more stabilizer. I might be in a lot of trouble. Just sleep it off, I guess. Sleep it off. The eye. Peak slate chirps in your pocket. You take it out. A message. The connection is ready. Meet me at the Founders Gap, Greenway side. Peak. You clench your jaw. It's time. Wait. got some scrap. Okay, ready for anything. Ready for anything. Okay. Let's see how things go. You find Peak waiting near where you first met, at the entrance to the docking tunnel for the Founder's Ferry, where they're leaning beside the wall in the flickering light, and you realize how different they look from when you first met. There is a darkness around their eyes, a sense of exhaustion in their pose, but also a solidity, a sense of purpose and self-knowledge. They look concrete. For want of a better word, solid. Sleeper, they spot you and a small smile crosses their face. Glad you came. I wouldn't be anywhere else. Because I got everything done. The smile grows. Crunch time. They shake their head in disbelief. Let's go. The break in a connection is up ahead. They walk away from the docking tunnel, into a ragged, half-crushed corridor that descends into darkness. They poke their slate and a torch flicks on, lighting the way ahead. As you descend through the layers of broken edge of the eye, Peak talks, filling the silence. Had to hunt all over this part of the eye to find the point where the connection was broken. They run a hand through the buckled metal of the wall. They run a hand along the buckled metal of the wall, stooping under the angled ceiling. This hole, the gap, got knocked in the eye when Solheim collapsed. It's impossible to tell who did it, but my guess is they tried to scuttle the eye. If Solheim couldn't keep hold of their fancy new station, well, no one could. Peak ducks through a fractured passageway with hanging wires like vines. So this place has always been on borrowed time. I've managed to weave together the old connections and run a new patch down to where the main line runs through the remaining ribs of the rim. They smile. It's like keeping those old XBR platforms running. Ash would be proud if she bothered to help. As Peak goes quiet, the corridor opens out to a wider, twisted passage, with compartments on either side thick with wiring. Here, this is the connection point. You can see where Peak is levered off a panel and hooked up a thick cable to the existing hardware. As thick as a tree trunk. It snakes off into the dark ahead, its yellow rings making it look like some huge exotic serpent. You did all this? Peak nods. It was an interesting challenge. Plus it helped me keep my mind off things. Peak smiles a weak smile. There's a lot I prefer not to think about. You both stand there, staring at the point where the new cable meets the old one. The ends separate, fitted with multi-pin male and female connections and braced inside a metal framework with a scissoring mechanism. Bring them together, seal them, and the groomnet will be connected for to the rest of the eye for the first time in decades. Peak shifts their weight onto one hip, pushing their hair out of their eyes. I feel like this should be more momentous, like there should be some ritual or ceremony. They pause. Or someone should stop us from doing this crazy thing. It isn't crazy. It's insane. They're two different words. Don't mix them. Peak nods. I mean, I'm not being funny, Sleeper, but this whole thing is crazy to me. Peak shakes their head. Leaving Hawthorne with Ash, joining the flotilla, coming here, meeting you, the flux, the shadow, everything. They laugh a hollow laugh. I suppose this is at least consistent with all that. They take a deep breath. Okay. They look at you with mild panic. They hold both sides of the supporting framework, ready to scissor it closed. Here we go. Peak wrenches the framework closed. The connectors thunk together with a sound that echoes down the ruined corridor into the dark on both sides. Both you and Peak wait with bated breath, unsure what it is you're waiting for. Do you expect the eye to suddenly stop spinning, or to lurch on its axis? For the power to go out, or a shockwave to run through the corridors of the rim? You meet Peak's eyes, and suddenly they burst out laughing. What are we waiting for? They put a hand on their forehead. I feel like we just planted a tree and we're expecting it to burst out of the ground. They shake their head. But you feel it. You feel it flowing like a stream that's been released from a cave and rushes out into the sunlight, crystalline and clear. You swear you can hear it running in the wires, like water, like rain, like steam. It doesn't roar or rattle. It rustles and rises there, like liquid roots. Peak sees the look in your eyes and stops laughing. You can see it, can't you? You can't see it, not with your eyes at least. But it is everywhere. And now it's out, and can't be put back in. That much is clear. You imagine the rim of the eye like a sponge, like soil, soaking up the gardener and its chorus. The gaps filling with bubbling, constant, growing life. Peak stares at you, waiting for something, anything. Gardener is free. Peak nods slowly and closes their eyes. They go to speak, but words fail them. Suddenly, Peak's slate chirps. They jump and scramble for it, almost dropping it in the process. But when they stare at it, and a look of confusion crosses their face. What happened? Peak's mouth falls open. It's Ash. They swallow. She's leaving. They look at you with panic. Before you can speak, they have turned away and they're moving back up the passageway, back towards the entrance. Peak! They don't turn, don't respond, and you watch their silhouette, lit by their slate's torch, disappear rapidly around the corner. You take out the slate Peak gave you and turn on the torch. The wires all around look like pale roots in the harsh light, but you turn away from them. They're the gardeners now. You work your way back through the corridors, retracing your steps. You imagine Peak, panicked, running towards the cordon, realizing that their greatest fears come to pass. You wonder if they'll be able to persuade Esh to stay. If Esh is going, you think, then the flotilla must be leaving too. The thought makes you shiver in the darkness. You push it away. You are not ready. You focus on avoiding the hanging wires, the low ceilings, and make your way back out into the lit corridors of the Founder's Ferry dock. Oh hey, Castor, piss off. Castor is waiting for you. He holds up his hands. Now, sleeper, no need to fear. He raises his eyebrows. I understand now it was my mistake to try to force you. A miscalculation. Why are you here? Good, good. Questions are good. He pushes his glasses up his nose. I am more than happy to answer any you may have. I won't hold you here, sleeper. Castor stands to the side, but I wish to speak. If I leave now, I can probably still help Peak and Ash. But Castor is kind of a big deal, so I maybe should listen to him. He did help me save my other friends before. So you stop, giving Castor his opportunity. Castor nods. At first I thought that, if you'll excuse the turn of phrase, taking possession of your particular talents was the opportunity. He smiles a broad smile. But you are more than that, and I understand that now. Your arrival on the station, your ability to touch the networks, this makes you the very definition of a wild card. He touches the rim of the glasses. Senate stats analysis with my analysis, we could never have accounted for you. This system, Helion system, is about to experience a significant change. We're about to open up Senate stats, bailiffs, Conway's claimants, and every industry and element an active con channel brings. Yet, this very cycle, you let another wild card free, Gardner. I have to admit, this development makes me afraid, Sleeper. It makes me afraid of what an intelligence like this would sacrifice to protect itself, or what atrocities it might commit through madness. And yet, Castor's eyes glint. What a compelling object such an intelligence is. Let me protect you, mark you out. Keep Senate stats from eliminating you by force or legal expediency. You as they will with every other squatter on this ring. Jeez. Castor clasps their hands together. And in exchange, with Senate stat comes for this place, you facilitate the handover. You claim the protocols. Give us the Gardner. What? No. Why would I do that? Castor takes off their glasses and polishes. Disappointing. You begin to leave. As you approach, he speaks quietly, an urgent whisper. I do not wish to see you lost. You are of great value. If you ever want to see that realized, you push past, ignoring him, and his voice fades. The last you see of him is his slow nod, perhaps a mark of resignation, or just another deferential gesture aimed at manipulating your response. It doesn't matter either way, you are done with it. You head towards the cordon, Peak in the flotilla in the forefront of your mind. Just book it.
arrive into chaos at the cordon. The final shuttles are leaving the ramshackle docks that have formed along the edge of the gap during the flotilla's stay. As they do, groups of evacuees push on board, hoping to be among the final people to escape from the eye. The fear created by the flux event became a series of rumors, and those rumors have driven many out of their homes. Others have staunchly doubled down on their position in the eye, refusing to accept any gossip of a second collapse. You are unsure what you think. You are unsure what you think. Is the collapse a certainty? Will Peak's actions this cycle have changed anything at all? You are tired of these questions and instead set out to look for your friends. You quickly spot Peak and Ash. At the far side of the chaotic bay, you quickly make your way through the crowds, slipping between the gaps in the rushing evacuees, stepping over bags and luggage. Progress is slow, but as you approach, you can hear their voices over the crowd. You try to push closer, but there are many evacuees gathered around them and their shuttle. You've made your decision, Peak, and it puts you against me. Really, Ash? Really? That's how you're gonna be? Ash is standing with one foot on the boarding ramp while Peak argues with her. The evacuees are eyeing them, eager to intervene, but intimidated by Ash's evident strength and attitude. Ash, it doesn't have to be like this. Peak looks desperate, tear tracks already on their cheeks. We can find a way. Ash shakes her head. I have always protected you, Peak. I have taken you under my wing. But I understand that you are not mine to control, and you have chosen to be here and not with me, despite everything. I've chosen to stop running, Peak cries out in frustration. You can choose to stop running too. We can stay here and try to live. Don't you remember what it feels like to live, Ash? Ash turns away. I remember what it was like to live on Hawthorne, what it was like to be worried for your safety every cycle, to live under the control of my mother, of the administration. Ouch. To work to maintain something that no one wanted, no one needed, so that our corporation could maintain a foothold in this system. Oh, well, this is frustrating. I will be right back.
Ah, yeah, I didn't say anything. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, you have a good night there, guinea pig. Get some good sleep. Thanks for always stopping in. Yeah, I had to quickly mute and then change panels because I'm not sure how or even when I did that. I actually cracked my big toenail right down the middle. It doesn't even hurt. Anyway, back to it. Testing 1, 2. Uh-oh. Did I lose game sound? Oh. Oh no. Game crashed. Okay. Okay, gotta restart the game now. Jeez. Oh, when did it last save? Oh crap. Change capture. Compatibility capture. Okay, I think I fixed it. Hopefully the game autosave didn't just lose everything for me. What's the last thing you remember, game? Oh, that's new. Okay, I can just continue that conversation. There's nothing wrong with that. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Okay, didn't lose a ton. Why is that suddenly there? Oh, whatever. Okay. You talk as if this place, in the very same system, is any different. What is there here but the same grind for other masters, for employers, administrators, those who gain from our struggles? There may not be a corporation controlling the eye, but there is control. And there is power in action here. So what then? Peak shouts. You run from or anyone or everyone who could ever be close to you in search of freedom, in search of some perfect place where no one has power over you? Peak is crying openly now. I want to be part of something, Ash, even if it's broken and suffering, even if it cannot be free. Ash pauses and takes a deep breath. She nods, her eyes closed. This isn't Hawthorne anymore. We aren't tied by our childhood or by our shared need to escape. We are both just people in this system. She opens her eyes. I release you, Peak. You are free of me. Jeez, Dramalam. Ash, please. They hold out a hand. There is a life here if you want it. Oh, why is the resolution garbage now? Oh, never mind, it's fine. Ash turns and smiles at Peak, her eyes wet now too. Then you live it for me. Then you live it for me, Peak. I can't. And she climbs up the boarding ramp. The evacuees taking their chance to climb on board too. You watch as the shuttle closes its ramp, lifts off and leaves the bay. The crowds are dispersing now as they get onto the shuttles or say their goodbyes and move back into the main part of the cordon. You push past the last of them to reach Peak. Peak doesn't turn as you come closer. Sleeper. Ash is gone. They turn to face you. I'll miss the Briar, but she'll serve Ash well. I know that. Sleeper! The shout takes you by surprise as you turn and see Saul coming across the bay towards you, the last two shuttles loading up behind him. He reaches you, his suit hissing as he does. Can't believe you'd make an old man run across this bay to get you. He pauses to take a breath. The singers have gone. They left at the start of the cycle. They broke away from the flotilla. I could have told you that was going to happen. You smile as you think of Tala, safely cradled in one of those singer ships, on her way to the starboard belt, and hopefully a reunion with her brother. Godspeed, Tala. What are you smiling at? no. What was the last thing I said? Because apparently I've been muted for a minute. Damn it. Oh well, that's just funny. Race the scuff. Well, I have to stay. That's been the plan since I got here. You open your mouth to speak and realize this is the final time you will make this choice. You have to be sure. I'm staying. You say the words, and the moment you do, the weight of it all seems to descend on you. You stumble a little, and then stand straight, refusing to be crushed. You feel a tightness in your chest, and a haze blurring your thoughts. Saul nods. Good luck, he sighs. You'll need it. He grips your shoulder and meets your eye. In the haze, his pitted and rough hands feel so real, so detailed, that it grounds you. And then it is gone, and Saul goes with it, quickly moving to the waiting shuttle. As he does, you watch, unable to speak, your whole body pulsing. And another hand falls on your shoulder and grounds you once more. You turn to see Peak's bright eyes. Let's go, sleeper. You nod, and seeing how unsteady you are on your feet, Peak puts an arm around you and steers you towards the entrance to the bay. As they do, you hear the roar, feel the wind as the shuttles lift off, and angles towards the flotilla. You don't turn. Instead, you keep your head down and focus on each step. As you do, you feel Peak beside you, holding a little of your weight, and you holding a little of theirs. This is how it'll be for many cycles after you both leave the bay and head back into the eye. You'll both hold things for each other. Remind each other of the choices you made. Remind each other why it is important to keep going despite the moments when it seems impossible. You will keep each other going. That support will be vital when the second flux event hits the eye, when it knocks the entire free spoke off the power grid, making the whole station lurch with a sickening motion, when it cripples systems and corrupts processes, leading sections of the station to go dark or start venting oxygen. When holding on is all you can do while the world seems to come apart around you. And yet, somehow, the eye will persist. Systems will resist total collapse in ways that will seem inexplicable to many. But to you and Peak, they will signal the awakening of a new force within the station. That new force will bring with it new challenges and new possibilities in equal measure. Strange growths will be reported all around the station in the wake of the flux event, fungal crusts pushing through pipes and wiring. The eye will go wild and resund, becoming a station of increasing unpredictability, prone to a seasonal rhythm of spore clouds and sudden growth spurts. There will be a strange and unsettling beauty in this paradigm shift, as the greening of the station turns it from a corporate ruin to some altogether new assemblage of biological and mechanical structures.
Miko will take on this challenge with energy that seems impossible for her age, and until her final day, she will delight in the new mysteries the Eye and its gardener produce. And as this new era consolidates around the station, you'll find yourself in Banatian, most cycles, working to keep the place alive. The cycle where you invite Memphis to come make use of the kitchen will go from one-off event to a regular occurrence. And soon, the Bantian will be filled with spacers eager to try the best preparations on the station's now abundant mushrooms. And on occasion, after a long shift at the Bantian, you'll hear the sound of the stray mewling, and you'll crumble up some food and sit and watch the cat eat as if it is the only thing in your world that matters. However, into all this newness, the bad old ways will still intrude. Senate Stat, frustrated by the Eye's resilience, will begin to send more physical threats, and supply ships and traders will suddenly stop arriving. Stopped by a blockade of corporate militia. Life on the Eye will be punctuated by wide-channel broadcasts from Senate Stat, stating legal precedents and quoting deeds of ownership, staking a claim on the system. Meanwhile, Havenage hardliners will fizzle out, losing their grip on the Havenage Council. In their wake, Helene will spearhead a series of reforms that will scale back Havenage overreach, returning them to the caretaker rule they had always intended to fulfill. As the cycles roll on and the threats gather, new broadcasts will join them, sent by Conway Extractions, making counterclaims on assets within the Helion system. And many on the Eye will grow quiet, losing their appetite for debating these political machinations as they tilt inexorably towards a corporal war. And ever on the Eye will spin, growing now in strange ways, haunted by strange new growths, and hosting cultures of increasing resilience. As the Helion system descends into crisis, you will find comfort in the fungal patterns, the familiar conversations, spices and the smells that will accumulate around you as your body continues its unavoidable decay. They settle around you like a veil, and in time it will be impossible to see the Eye without seeing its many variants and versions, past and potential futures. And this masking of the world will mark your approaching end. And one cycle, far from now, the accumulation of memories, of tastes, of people and places and moments will be the last thing you let go of. But for now, there's only you and Peak, arms around each other, walking slowly out the bay. Two figures born of crippled systems, linked together, continuing, despite your origins. And in this frozen moment, you focus on only the next step, because that is the only way you have learned to persist. And to persist is to believe that a future, any future at all, is possible. Wow. You know what? I think that's gonna be the canon ending for me, because I know there's one more I can get. But, yeah, I think I'm done. Done for tonight. I have to clean up a bit.
let's finish. And then I'm gonna just end the stream. Not my standard 4 hours, but it was still a good one. Okay, can't wait for that sequel to drop. Should be sometime this year. Yeah, just over 3 hours. It was pretty scuffy, but made it. It'll get better in time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cole, Huntress, if you guys are still out there, you guys have a good day. I will probably jump into your streams later if you're not online right now. Nope, there's only one other channel online, and I'm not gonna raid them. That was a hell of a journey. See you next time, everybody.